Hello everybody and welcome back to my test world. So last episode at the very end of the HermitCraft video, we went into my test world and I was showing you some things that we were doing with villagers and trying to get rid of the spawn house and putting it underground. Well, as it turns out, right over here, this was where I had some older NPC villager testing grounds. I had some things here, and I thought that they were all empty. But as it turns out, these little buildings and things I had floating in air had villagers and doors in it still. And apparently that was making like an infinite breeding cell or something because this other thing over here was just too close. So I removed these buildings, I removed the villagers and the doors and everything that had to do with that in this area. I came back over to this testing area and tried to get villagers to breed again, and they would not breed anymore. So what I said at the end of the last episode, putting this thing underground like this, does not quite work as I shown, I mean. Okay, so we can actually see this. If I throw a couple of these guys down here, watch them, do their own thing. They're not going to breed. I've sat here and I watched these guys for like a half an hour. I know they won't breed at all. This little divider that I have here is to keep them separated because if this is not here, they'll all cluster to one corner, and then it just makes it harder for them to actually breed because they can't get next to each other. So I put a little divider here just to kind of help out with them breeding. Okay, so I remember hearing before that villagers actually do breed, or I'm sorry, that the houses are recognized, like the doors and stuff, so the villagers can breed, only if the doors have like sunlight hitting them, and that's what we were testing in the last episode, and I thought that that wasn't actually right, but it turns out that it is true. So let me just get rid of these villagers, otherwise they're gonna get into my way what I'm gonna do here. This is actually kind of fun. Come on. And you. Okay. So what I have done is I decided I would open... Oh, wait. Maybe not there. Maybe come over one. Open this up in the center. I think, yeah, just the middle three. Just like this. Open this up in the center so sunlight can come down. It'll touch these doors. And then I have it coming down even further. And then another set of doors down there just for extra. And then what I'm going to do is put some glass. Glass. What can I get rid of? In case I don't need glowstone. Glass right like this. So the villagers can walk up here. The sun can go down there. The villagers can't touch the doors. And I believe that's all we need to do to get these guys to start breeding. Let me open it up on the other side as well. Let's see. Let those guys do their thing over there. Which, oh, one too many. Okay, so with it like this, there's plenty of room, plenty of light coming down here that all these doors should be active, and all the villagers should see the doors and they should start breeding. The way that the villager breeding works, though, it's very random. Like, it's random when they decide they want to start breeding, and they'll only breed if there's another one that randomly decided to start breeding at the same time. So you can see now there's hearts above this guy's head. And if this one decides to start breeding, there we go. We'll have a child here in a second, I think. Oh, no, it was the one in the background over here who decided to go. Yeah, so it's kind of weird how this works, and it's not very quick. But we can put a whole bunch more villagers in here, watch them all start doing the little heart animations. Like, these guys have already started, so you can tell that the doors are being recognized underneath. So this is what I'm planning on doing, something like this, where it's flat on the surface, the villager's going to be on the surface, but the light can still go down below and activate these doors, so they'll think this is one big house. Yeah, you can see all these hard animations. These guys definitely see the doors and they're trying to breed. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the next step and try and make it look good. I mean, we could have buildings like this all over the place, but I don't really like the way this looks. So let's try something else here. Okay guys, so I moved a little bit further away from where my last experiment was. It's over here just out of view range, out of view distance. I've removed all those villagers so we don't have anything messing with us or messing with our test results here. Okay, so I kind of have the same thing happening here. This gravel in the center represents like one of the roads in the village, trying to keep it as natural as possible, as original. I have leaves here along the sides. This will let the light pass through. But the problem is with the leaves, once light hits leaves, it'll start getting, lower and lower as it goes down, and eventually the light will run out. So you can't put doors down real far. Okay, so if we have the village, the roads set up like this, we can have rows of leaves along each side. I mean, we can even do things like, put bushes or whatever, and then we'll have like a house back over here. This could open up into like a yard or something. Okay, so this is my plan. Underneath this gravel, we just have dirt, and underneath that dirt, we have doors. So we have the leaves right like this, go down a block, and then rows of doors. You don't really need this many. This is just kind of to test it. Probably if I do this in my spawn village, I'll only have one row of doors along the outside. But if we want more villagers, we can just, continually add more doors. And then under here, you could put even more. So it's just the same thing on both sides. So there's 4 sets of doors, or 4 rows, 2 sets. Let's see, how did I come down here? Through the dirt, wasn't it? Somewhere. Oh, I think I might have placed the dirt back. Oh no, there it is. Okay. So the dirt is just there to keep the doors, or keep the gravel from falling down. And the gravel just represents, a basic villager road. Or, yeah, villager road. Okay, so let's throw some villagers down here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Throw those guys down there and just make sure they can breed. I'm pretty sure they will be able to, but it's always good to double check before we do this full scale. But yeah, getting rid of that spawning house is a thing that I really want to do. It's really ugly to look at, and I'd rather have that area available for like another house or, something that looks decent. Okay, so I've been watching these guys for a little while, and apparently this is not working. I thought I tried this a little earlier and they were breeding, but I don't know, maybe I just haven't waited long enough? One thing I want to do is try replacing the leaves with glass and see if that makes any difference. If not, it might be I might have to lower the floor down 1 block because the doors are 2 blocks below the surface. So that might also be the problem. Let me make a few more changes and we'll try again. Okay guys, so I have been playing around with this for a little while now, and I've decided that I'm going to go with this method here. So it's basically what I showed before, but I've made it longer. Let's go down underneath. I've raised the doors up so they're 1 block below the surface here, and I've added a second row of doors. I was doing this just to try and increase how fast the villagers were breeding. I know it doesn't really speed it up, but I was thinking maybe to give them more of a chance and they would do the hard animations faster or something. But it's very random how fast these guys actually breed. So it's like that on both sides, so 2 rows of doors. Let's throw a couple of villagers in here. Well, let's do like 4. So that's, there's 4. Let's do 4 on this side. And just kind of separate them out a little bit so they're not interacting with too many people, and they'll give them like a higher chance to actually breed. But I've done this before a few times now, and it's kind of random. Like when the villagers decide they want to breed, sometimes it's right away. Other times it'll be like 5 or 10 minutes after I put them down here. But the area that we're in right now, you can kind of see there's nothing around. It's only half slabs. So there's no other villagers around that are influencing these guys this time. And I have seen them breed before in this configuration. So I do know for a fact that this will work. So I believe I'm going to go with something very similar to this on my villager island. And I will go ahead and start working on that. I'll meet you guys in HermitCraft. Alright guys, welcome back to the HermitCraft server. We're now on my villager island base. Yep, so I just got done recording, I would say the last 15 or so minutes, and my microphone was off. So we're going to do this again. Oh, lovely. Okay, so I did a little bit of building during my recording where my microphone was off. So we're just going to kind of do like a little bit of a tour here, and hopefully you guys are okay with it. So as you can see, the spawn house has been removed. I took it down. There were so many doors in that thing, I didn't even realize. But yeah, I have removed it, the entire thing, and I have moved the doors all down underground here. There's 2 rows of doors all under here, all along, and I did it on both sides. Now, in order to continue that pattern over here, I had to move the animal pen a few blocks in, just so I could have the row of doors under this block and a row of doors under these blocks. Or maybe no, I stopped the doubles like under here, but just so we could have the extra set of doors under this one. But yep, as you can see, we do have baby villagers, and that is important. That was what I was afraid of, or that's what I was afraid would be broken by me changing it, I should say. But yeah, as it appears, putting those doors underneath the ground like that and out of reach of the villagers still is enough to make them think that there are doors around and they should continue to spawn and breed and things. I've seen 4 baby villagers around so far, so it looks like things are working here. I did kill off a few of these villagers just to test to make sure they would repopulate and everything, so that's good. Let's head down underneath here. Stop being in the ground. Let's head underneath here, and I can kind of show you the setup. So we have the leaves above, just like that, kind of like how we did in the test world. And then we have, you know, the 2 sets of doors underneath the ground here. The only problem with doing it this way is if a creeper were to spawn and then blow up, it would cause a lot of damage to this. But yeah, this goes down kind of far, and I have it set up pretty much the same way on both sides. Like I said, on the other side, there's the animal farm thing there that I'm going to probably move at some point just because those guys are annoying to listen to, and I'd rather have them off in like a far corner. But yeah, the double doors ended right here, and the animals are like right behind the dirt over here. Okay. So, that is one of the major things that I wanted to take care of in this village. I really never liked having that baby maker house, or whatever you want to call it, around, because that was pretty ugly. Oh, am I stuck in this thing? There we go. Yeah, but now we have a lot of room here to put like a building or 2 or 3. I would probably like to do something. Oh, actually what we could do is move these animals and put like another building right here. I think that would be kind of cool. I'm sorry, I had something on my mouse. I had to fix it. Okay, what else? Yeah, I think that is actually pretty much it for this villager area. Yeah, just need to think of what we're going to do, what we're going to put here, and then where we're going to move those animals, and then what kind of building we're going to put over there. Then I'm still going to work on upgrading these houses so they're more like the modern style, or at least a style similar to these. They all kind of match. And I'm thinking the church could probably use an upgrade, and I would like to move this portal somewhere else. I've never really liked it being there. It was just kind of like a spot to put it when I first got to this island. Okay, so let's head over to the experience farm real quick, and I'll show you some things there. Alright, here we are at the experience farm. Now, one of the things that I wanted to change here, and I've already made that change, it's very minor, but I had a piece of wood surrounding this glowstone. And you can see this dirt isn't even hydrated yet. I just got done replacing those 4 pieces of wood with tilled soil and seeds because water that's now flowing down on top of crops no longer destroys them. So I want to upgrade this farm to be a proper 1.3 style farm and not have to worry about, losing crops anymore. So we took care of that. Very simple and easy fix. And we get 4 more pieces of wheat out of the farm now once it's fully grown. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys, and it kind of took a lot of time in the recording before, but now it's just going to be real quick. My melon and pumpkin farm was upgraded by a new member of the server. And I liked what he did, but the problem was with the way he had this set up is, well, let me show you guys actually real quick. Let me do a little demonstration here. Let's put some things down, it'll be easier to see. Maybe I don't have pistons. Nope, no pistons. Okay, so we will use something, cobblestone or something. Repeaters. Okay, so pretend these were my pistons underneath the ground, and then I had repeaters right like this. Well, the change that he made was instead of having repeaters every one like that, every other one would just be redstone dust going into the blocks. So that would save a little bit of resources. We wouldn't have to use a repeater in every one. It would just be one piece of redstone dust. Well, while that is a good way to save resources, the problem with that is that now every other piston is on a 1-tick delay, and the other ones are on 0-tick. So you would see like this one come up and this one slightly right afterwards, and I didn't really like that at all. That was kind of the reason why I never did that to begin with. But let's come down here, and I'll show you what I've done to actually fix that or make it the way that I'd prefer. So my pistons are here, and then we have this line of cobblestone diagonally down from it. The repeater powers this block here, and then this goes the full 15 all the way down. Okay? And then underneath here, we have redstone torches under every single one. So it's only 1 redstone dust per, and then 1 redstone dust up here. So it's 2 redstone dust per piston to make this farm work. So total of 30 redstone dust for both sides. No, 60. 30 per side. Okay, but either way, saving a little bit of redstone like that isn't really a big deal to me. I mean, redstone is real easy to get, and I'm not running out of it, not really having, problems finding it or anything. But another thing that I had to do to make this work is I had this redstone torch powering redstone dust right here, and I had this inverted before, and then when you press the button, it sent power down here. But the way this is now, since the redstone torches underneath these underneath these pistons are now powering, they have to be inverted. So this line is now always powered until you press the button. And then, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Pretty straightforward change here. And then we'll just put this back, press the button. You see they both go up and down at the same time. There's a little bit of a delay there, but that's just server. But they do all go up and down at the same time. And that is what makes me happy. I was fine using, extra resources to do that. I was fine using those extra resources, the extra repeater per piston to do that. Not a big deal to me. I just prefer everything looks good and waste resources to do that than make it the most efficient way possible and then make it, not quite as smooth. But, yep, that is the way I I roll when it comes to things like this. And yeah, so that's about all that I had for this episode. Unfortunately, what I had recorded before, my microphone was muted, and it's getting late, and I don't really have time to record much else. So I hope you guys are okay with it being a little bit shorter, but we did something really important today, getting rid of that baby spawner house and put that underground. So for one, the villagers will still, respawn or breed in case zombies attack. And two, they're not sitting there opening and closing the doors all the time, which was just ridiculously annoying. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.